So I'm really far behind in video editing right now, but this is Mazikeen working in Dayton, Tennessee at the Cathy Hartley clinic. First thing Friday morning. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday kind of deal. And part of what we're working on today is flipping back and forth from gathering to driving. These sheep are pretty heavy, so getting them off the person is not the easiest thing in the world to do. So first gather into the corner goes okay, slightly overflanked. Got her stopping at the top next to the tree. Not that you could see that. A little bit far. So then I have her walk up to the stalk. Right there. And you see how she's kind of wearing back and forth around and around and around and around? She's not putting on pressure on the correct place to get this heavy group of sheep to kind of get off of me. And it's a very frustrating thing because she's just kind of like, what's going on with these sheep? Why are they not peeling off? And kind of, what do I do? So I stopped her. And now she's walking into me right now slowly, a little less frenetically. And they were okay to go kind of lifting up off my knees there. So got her in there, which is good. And then I sent her kind of down that fence line. And now she's back between the sheep and switching kind of back to a gather. And I'm trying to get her to get off of that and stay behind them and keep pushing them down the fence. So she keeps creeping her shoulder, and I'm really bad at recognizing this transition. Of course, this is extremely tiny, so it's not really even all that feasible to see it. But I sent her around to get the rest of the group of 6 back together because the 2 of them stuck to my legs like glue. And then I got her kind of, she's trying to cover and flank them back. It's nice, slow, there we go. They had peeled off my knees. So that was good. And then I need to be better at stopping her from flanking, or from going in behind and trying to gather them back to me. So then I called her back on a that'll do, because I think she was struggling with the idea of an inside flank there. So this is part of the very beginning of the April-May road trip. Tennessee, Illinois, and going back home to Wisconsin, and then back to Illinois again, and then Ohio. So here we go. Got some working down the fence. Now she's got to come between me and the stalk to keep them on the fence. So they're on the other side of the tree. Got a little bit of stalling, and I'm calling her here. And the sheep are not coming to me, which is good. So I brought her back to me, and now we have her walk up down that very far corner of the fence line. And now she's kind of still walking into there. And then I'm not sure what I did next. I'm gonna have to watch the video and be, you know, surprised with all of you guys. Alright, so she went around the front and then around the front. Oh my gosh. She went to the sheep's heads back around and gathered them and brought the sheep back to me. And we had been working after driving that she needs to get her flanks nice and wide to come back to me. And now I'm walking up with the sheep just on a regular little fetch there. But she is way too close, and she keeps pushing the sheep in front of my knees, which is not a terrible thing to do if I am asking her to gather. But if I'm also asking her to drive, then she needs to do it in a calm, collected manner so the sheep don't veer their heads around trying to look back to me. So that was around again. And the hard part is, when I'm literally a 1/4 inch tall, I can't even really study my body language very well to make sure that I am trying to do things correctly. So some of this is just flanking around. And then one sheep seems to be veering off the group, so I had to send her to put it back. And now we are walking up the middle of the field, confidently, I hope. And then I'm working there to try to keep going, and I'm really happy with this. And of course the video feed is now freezing, so that gets really annoying because then everything doesn't render on time. So video feed may be a little bit off with the audio feed now, but hopefully the gist comes through. So pushed her up to the fence, and then I'm going to have them walk up this corner, not necessarily into the puddle. So there, she's too far, so I stopped her, and then I want her back to me a little bit. There. Good. Walking them down. There. Oh, she didn't stop, and she keeps trying to gather instead of drive. So I've got to stop her and get her back to me. So she's going around and around and around there. This is kind of trying to do some independent flank proofing and some stopping, but she's a little amped up right now. Alright, had her walk in. Take the pressure off the sheep to have her walk in again. And then we have a kangaroo. We have her on a regular flank. She's still leaning pretty hot on that top end. I've got to really work on sort of getting her out so she's not leaning her shoulders on the stock when she's flanking. I'm not disappointed or anything. I've just got a lot of things to practice when it comes to her. So you see how they're ringing around and around and around again? That means she's not putting pressure to walk up on the right spot. And some of this is I have to bring her in here. There we go, get her nice and calm. But that sheep came back to me. Nobody else did. So then she had to fix that. There we go. Now we just have her calmly walk up. Get the whole group back together. Now she's kind of inching into that gather position, so I've got to be careful to keep them going down the fence there. So she's in a good spot. Nope, she's creeping. She's creeping. No, there we go. No creeping. That comes back to me. And now we're kind of hung up on the audio or the video feed a little bit because it's not streamed together even though it says it's rendered. So I'm sending her back to the group. Hopefully we're not too far behind. Walking in, there we go. Now I don't want her to bring sheep back. She's on the wrong side, she's gonna bring him back. She brought him back. At least her body was calm on that though. Right here, good girl. And she's trying to keep him back to me. And she's got to stop and walk up calmly. Directly into me in order to push the stock off of me. And then she's already kind of on an arc that may be a little bit too far. But I don't have sheep back, so we're pushing them out to that corner again. I am helping her just kind of walk along. She's a little insecure on this yet because this is just a really hard thing for her to switch her brain back and forth. And so I'm not sure what I am doing standing there. And I called her back to me. So maybe I wanted her to send on that I wanted her to send her, obviously I was trying to set up kind of a triangle around me to get her to walk up to the sheep and push them back down the fence, and then she went back around them to bring me the sheep, and they are split. And the group back together, and that's a good girl. A little hot on that top there, a little frustrated. So now we're getting her to come to my knees. or I drop the stick. I do that a lot. Let's bring the sheet back to me. Leaning really hard. Video feed is hung up again a little bit. So anyways, I'm just going to stop talking because a lot of the issues that we were talking about in this entire group with her being able to peel heavy stock away, her trying to take flanks, it's a balance when I need her to start understanding the concept of understanding, like, she's right there again, she's gathering instead of driving. So we've got to get her comfortable with pushing the stock off of me. So